Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I am again back with a very interesting topic which is inspired from my book, The Power of Self-Talk. And today I am going to talk about the egos which are different, the different roles that we play, what we can do with respect to that, and what are the challenges and what are the problems that we face with respect to that, and what can be done so that we can avoid that ego. Well, let me start with a very interesting story. This story is of a sculptor who used to make different statues. And those statues were looking like real, as if somebody is sitting actually in real sense. The sculptor became so popular in the nearby villages and city and all that, that everyone used to praise him a lot that you make such wonderful, lively statues. And because of all the praise and of all that, sculptor started to believe that he's the best and nobody can beat. Some sort of an ego was started coming in him. As he was getting older, he started having that feeling that one day is going to die. And he don't want to die. So he thought, what should I do so that I can avoid the death? Because someday some devil is going to come and that devil is going to take him. So he thought of something. He said that, okay, let me make 10 different statues of myself, and then I will become the 11th myself. And then I will stand as if, I am one of the statue. And when the devil will come, the devil will not come to know that who is the real person. So when the D-Day came and he was actually going to die, the devil came. Now the devil was looking into the different statues and he was not finding it, that who is the real person and which is a statue. After trying hard, the devil thought of something. He knows about the human nature and about all the ego. He said that, well, I think the sculptor has made wonderful statues. Nobody can beat him. But in case I can find that sculptor, I can tell that sculptor, there is one mistake which is there. But I don't know when I will get that sculptor. Now that sculptor was hearing everything. He felt offended. His ego was to the top. He said, how can somebody question his art? And he could not stop himself. He said that, okay, tell me what? And then he realized that he made a mistake. Devil said, I know you are a very egoistic person, and that's why he said that. Now come with me. Well, this is all the ego, and we all know what are the good and the bad things which happens when we have ego. Something similar happens with us also in our day-to-day life. We play different roles, and in each role, sometimes we have some sort of ego, and we feel that I am the best and nobody can beat me. Eckhart Tolle has said a very interesting thing. He said, in the eyes of the ego, self-esteem and humility are contradictory. In truth, they are one and the same. Well, it generally happens that when we play different roles, then somehow we forget that it is only the role that we are playing, but we are actually the same. We play roles like husband, wife, brother, sister, boss, neighbor, politician, and then we become so much involved in that role that we start behaving in that way, and we don't realize that while doing so our ego is coming into picture and we start believing that this is that real me. So for example, in our day-to-day life, if you see a father-in-law, he's always expecting that the daughter-in-law will always respect. In case they are going somewhere, then daughter-in-law will open the door. Or maybe if they are going by a lift, then it is the responsibility of daughter-in-law to press the button or to open the lift and do all those things. But at that time, that father-in-law does not realize that it is just the role that he is playing. End of the day, he is just a human being which is playing this particular role at this particular time. Something happens in the office also when boss always thinks that whatever he or she is saying is right, and whatever they are saying that should be implemented by everyone, irrespective of whether it is right or wrong. But what happens in this role? When we do like this, we feel that we are very powerful. And in case somebody suggests that we should not do like that, if we are doing like that, then we are going away from our original self, our original nature. Then the question comes that in case I do like that, maybe the people will start feeling me as a weak person. People can take advantage of me. Well, there is a study wherein this is called sort of a hubris syndrome. And when we call about hubris syndrome, primarily it is a disorder of the possession of power, particularly power which has been associated with overwhelming success, which is held for the year. Mahatma Buddha said a very, very interesting thing. He said, in the war of ego, the loser always wins. Well, now just take an example of a little kid, maybe 1 year or 2 year. Now that kid does not know anything about the worldly things and all that. Whenever we see a kid, we start feeling good about that. We want to talk to that kid. We want to smile. We want to play with that kid. Now, whether that kid is our or that child is not ours, still we feel attracted towards that. Why does it happen? Because at this particular time, that particular child does not have any layer of any ego or any worldly possessions. So irrespective of that, whether that person is male or female, a politician, a boss, maybe a different culture, religion, caste, that child always smiles and give the best and the innocence. And we also feel attached. That's why it happens that when we go home, when we meet our child, at that time, all of a sudden, whatever tensions, pressures, and all those things are there, it all gets evaporated. Why? Because the child is giving that innocence to us. When the child can give that innocence, when the child can give that divinity, why can't we do that? Because if someone is pure, if someone is original, then automatically we get attracted to that. And there is no need to have some additional layers over us. So I think the best way in which we can enjoy our life, we can live the life to the fullest, we can have lots of energy and we always feel fresh. The only way is that in case we can be our own self. Now that does not mean that we don't need to play the role. We need to play all the roles. We need to get all the work done. But while doing so, we always have to remember that I always have to talk with humility. I always have to be in gratitude. I always have to make sure that when I'm talking to the other person, I'm talking with all the humility. And when I'm doing that, then I'm actually doing the real service to myself and to others. And meditation is one such thing which can be done and which can help you to bring your ego down, to make you into the original self. The more you do it, the better you can become. A very, very interesting quote which has been stated, which says that if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if an egg is broken by the inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from the inside. My dear friends, if I talk about myself, I always find that in general, I'm always peace with myself. But sometimes that ego pushes me and I start doing all those things. But the more I am closer to myself, the better I am. I am challenging myself to become a better person. What you're doing, I'm looking for your feedback. Thank you.